Oh, there you are, YouTube. Doodle 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 do. Subscribe. I've been working this evening from home, and Titanic was on in the background. And my goodness, like that movie, it just hits so different. I'm trying to think if I've even seen it since I've had kids, but it is. I mean, it's always kind of been a tearjerker. I remember seeing it in the theater, and it brought some tears to my eyes, but even more this time, even though I was using it as a background movie, like it was still hitting, and it was just like, oh man, just that is a good movie. I love Titanic. That's a one of the greatest Best Picture winners, one of the best Picture winners. Okay, so we're gonna do a random ranking. Sorry if you're tired of these. I just I've again been doing a lot of working. I have some videos that I need to edit, but I need to get through probably tomorrow night with work before I can get to editing those. So it's random rankings. We're doing random rankings right now, and then I'll be able to put those other videos up. But anyway, so yeah, basically what a random ranking is if you've never been here before, it's when we go to my movie collection behind me and then pick out 3 movies at random and then rank those movies based on whatever criteria we come up with. Let's get back there and picking some movies so that we can rank them. Okay, what do we want? Do we want something from over here? Let's do whatever this is. Let's maybe do whatever this is, and then maybe something from here. Ooh, that feels unique. What is that? All right, we got to make sure I've seen them all. Yes. What? And then, gosh. You know what? I'm going to replace this one. Out Cold. This one I really need to give a rewatch. This was on a lot when I was in college. My buddies were into it. So I think I've probably, through them watching it, have seen it all the way through, but it's never like a movie that I've put on myself. So I'm going to replace that one with this one. If I could just... There we go. Okay, I remember this. All right, so... the one well, here, let me go back with these. So, first we have Away We Go. So, do you remember, like when these types of movies were happening, what was this called? It had I think it's been, I mean, it was kind of like hipster movies or whatever when it came out, those like indie hipster films, like this, Juno, Little Miss Sunshine, other films that I can't think of that were like this. Wasn't there one with like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Laura Linney, maybe, that kind of would have been categorized like this? A lot of them had sort of that illustrative quality on the cover or with the opening credits. But I don't know. I think I just call them like hipster dramedies or something like that. But this movie, oh, Sam Mendes directed it. Wow, Sam Mendes was married to Kate Winslet, and I just watched Titanic. Wow, that's fun. So yeah, well, actually, I think it's this scene right here. This is what I always have on my mind, right, right here, when they find out that she's pregnant, and how they find out she's pregnant, how he discovers it, is just kind of funny. I don't know, that's where my mind always goes with this movie. But yeah, I feel like this was a good time for movies. I really liked when these types of movies were coming out. Like Sideways, I feel like even kind of falls into this. Just like I don't know. I don't even know what, I need to find a way to nail it down. But anyway, I remember there was like a term for like this sort of art also. But I don't know if that term existed at the time or came about subsequently and then labeled afterwards. Gosh, there were so many of them. I remember there was one with like, Michael Cera was in it, and the people from like New Zealand were making movies that had this sort of aesthetic. You know, like your Taikas and your, Eagle versus Shark and all that stuff. Anyway, here was the one that made me gasp. Groundhog Day. We just had Groundhog Day, and spring will be early this year. And I feel like it already kind of is. I didn't wear a coat today. We had like ice storms just a couple weeks ago, and now we have we're I'm wearing short sleeves to work. My basement's still a little cold. That's why I'm in this hoodie right here. But I love this movie. I think it's wonderful. I I remember asking somebody. I always ask what's your favorite movie, what's your least favorite movie to people when I get to know them, meet them. And this one girl that I was talking to in college, I used to have really long hair, and I think she really liked my long hair. Um, she was like attracted to it. But I remember asking her what her if there were any movies she didn't like, and she said this. She said Groundhog Day, like it was too repetitive, and it's like, well, that's kind of the point. But I was just like, this ain't gonna work out. So it wouldn't have worked out anyway. But I really knew it wasn't gonna work out because she did not like Groundhog Day. Because this movie's great. Harold Ramis directed it. Bill Murray's in it. It caused a rift between their friendship, unfortunately, and they, didn't speak, weren't buddies for a long time until the very end, the very, very end. And yeah, it's a shame. Had that not happened, we may have had more Ghostbusters movies. What with the crew being younger, I wish we would have, but it is what it is, I guess. Here, okay, the kids are all right. I remember Oscar nominations being applied to this film. But I sort of like put it in like this category, just kind of like, I don't know, the group of people that I was watching these types of movies with in college were just like hipstery type, people. Art school, all of that. So, I don't know, that's kind of where I placed this movie. And I feel like we haven't seen Mia Wasikowska. Am I saying it right? In a while. She's Australian, right? I'm pretty sure she is. But I feel like, there she is right there. We haven't seen her in a while. Where's she at? I like her in Crimson Peak. I didn't really like the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland movies, but, where's she at? Maybe she's in stuff and I'm just not aware of it. It's very difficult for me to know what's going on until things are out in theater. So maybe there's stuff out there and I'm just missing it. Oh, and look, both Focus features, so Focus Features. Is Focus Features still around? Start making this stuff again. I mean, I guess, why would you? It's probably not in fashion anymore, but I would probably watch it. So how are we going to rank these? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Groundhog Day, then The Kids Are All Right, and then I'm going to finish it off with Away We Go. I think my wife might put Away We Go. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe this would be her ranking, but I know she really loves this movie, so maybe it would be higher. But I really love in this movie, there's like a moment that I just love so much when, we have Annette Bening and Julianne Moore. They're a couple. They have these kids, but then Julianne Moore, I'm going to give some stuff away here, has like a kind of an affair with Mark Ruffalo, who I believe is the biological father of the two children. And, it like means nothing at all, like the affair. There's no like love there or anything like that. It's just like something different, something exciting sort of thing. But I remember my favorite part of this is when he like thinks he's in love with Julianne Moore, and then he like calls her and he's like, we can make this work. Let's let's move forward with this. I love you or something. Maybe he doesn't say I love you. I don't know. But she just like is holding the phone. He's like calling her and she's holding the phone. And she's like, oh gosh, and then like hangs up on him or something like. And I think that's the last of we see him. It may not be the last we see him, but just the way she handled that was so funny. Like she wasn't trying to communicate with him or anything. She's just like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing of you. And I just love that moment so much, and that is enough for me to put it at second there. But I'm going to put Groundhog Day number one. I really do like that movie, have a lot of nostalgia for it, and it was just Groundhog Day. How funny, how serendipitous. What if I would have grabbed this on Groundhog Day? How cool would that have been? Okay, so I'm going to go Groundhog Day, then The Kids Are All Right, and then Away We Go. But my question to you is, have you seen these films? These three right here. And if so, what do you think of them? And if you've seen all three, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.